All right, thank you for staying with us. Let's take you back to Anambra State. It's 4 days to the governorship election, and while preparations are in top gear, there are growing concerns that the poll may be disrupted by the 1-week sit-at-home order issued by the prescribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. TVC News senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozuwaku is in the state, and he will be bringing us up to speed with developments leading up to the elections. Ayo, it's good to see you. Talk to us. What's the mood like building up to the elections come Saturday?
Thank you, Veronica. This is Anambra 2021 governorship election studio here in Oka. And we are counting down. As you said earlier, it's 4 days to that election. And I can tell you that things are happening rapidly in Anambra State. And if I told you earlier that over 34,000 security personnel have been deployed here in Anambra State. And one thing is unique about this election, since we've been covering Anambra election, at least I covered 8 years ago, 4 years ago. And I can tell you that we've never had heavy security presence in this state like what we are going to be having. If you check the deployment, 2 DIGs, both DIG operations from the force headquarters, they are going to be involved. Normally, we just have 1 DIG manning and supervising the whole operation that will represent the Inspector General of Police. Now we have the 2 DIGs that are going to be on ground. We are going to have 12 AIGs on ground, that Assistant Inspector General of Police on ground. We are going to have Commissioner of Police from like 12 states too, coming on ground across the country, and we are going to have Assistant Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police like that. All they are coupled with the 38,000 strong personnel that are going to bring in. They have 3 helicopters deployed across the senatorial district, and it's getting so interesting. Now, let me take you to 4 years ago. 4 years ago, this election in Anambra State recorded just 22%. And since 1999, Anambra election, they've never recorded 500,000 votes. It's unfortunate. We don't know how it's like that. Right now, we have 2.5 million people registered voters, and because of the palpable security situation, we don't know what will happen on Saturday.
Right. Quickly, before you go to your guest, you just mentioned something that I'd like for you to just quickly react to. You said before now 22% representation, especially with regards to the voting.
Yes.
And now with this heavy militarization, as some have termed it, I wonder what you think might happen on Saturday. Voter apathy?
Yes, something I've been hearing in the last 3 months is that once it's Mondays here, activities will be paralyzed in solidarity with the agitation for the release of the leader of IPOB, Anambra Kanu. Now, yesterday, everything was grounded. Truly, I witnessed it myself, went around the streets. Now they are saying that from Friday the 5th down to the 10th of October, that the IPOB, they've given that sit-at-home order again across the southeast. That is telling you 24 hours to that election that they are calling for another sit-at-home, and it might have adverse effects on the whole exercise. But the major thing here is that Comrade Kennedy here has been on ground. He's a member of civil society organization. You've been around for some time here, and when you look at the situation of things, a lot of people will tell you that, look, that the militarization might either restore confidence or scare people. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Comrade Kennedy Yere. I convene a civil society group called Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security, CSCIS. I've been around here for the past 12 months.
12 months?
Yes, since October last year. And we've navigated across the 21 local governments. The truth is this: Anambra naturally, the Anambrans naturally, they learned to practice apathy. They don't vote. Like you said, they've never recorded 500,000 total vote cast or total ballot cast. That is neutrally without the threat of insecurity. They don't come out. And over time, we've been able to discover that they don't have value for political power. That's it.
There's a disconnect between governments,
yes, they don't,
and the people.
Majorly, they are not interested in acquiring political power. It's all about business. But that is one error, and I'm sure that is why the marginalization they experience is always on the high side. You must have to place a premium on something, value on something for that, for whoever that is in charge of giving out that thing to recognize you. They don't vote naturally. Do you get that? And now, coupled with this issue of sit-at-home threats by IPOB, is actually worrisome. The truth is that we expect a very low turnout. A very low turnout.
Can it get lower than that 22%?
Of course, yes.
Wow.
We expect that. And the danger there is it creates a breeding ground for reading.
So how come we have over 2.5 million registered voters? That means they understand the process.
You know,
they came out, they collected their PVC, and we have them, captured.
We had tried to carry out sensitization and awareness campaign. What they have always said is that they go for the PVC in case in the future the government, it will be required to access some opportunities or privileges.
Not for voting?
Yes, they just take it and keep it. That's what they do. It's not only in Anambra, even though in my state, but we vote because we are more politically enlightened. They have not really placed a high recognition on
what do you think over
the
time
importance of voting
responsible for this kind of disconnects? Because
yes.
I know that governors in Anambra State, even from Chimaroke, Mbadinoju, down to Chris Ngige, down to Peter Obi, down to Willie Obiano, that some of these guys, they've done well in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of providing basic amenities for people. Why do we still have this level of disconnect?
Igbos are Republicans in nature. They are Republican in nature. They believe in their individualism. They believe they can be strong as an individual, but collectively they are very weak. Now, the lack of voter education is part of this whole thing. I think INEC and civil society organizations need to do more. Like we've been here. Where we're having a problem is that a lot of civil society organizations who access funding from the European Union, the US government, the British government, the Canadian government, the Australian government, the German, they are not helping us. We've been here. There are so many organizations like Yaga, Plaque, you can't see them. What do? After collecting grants from these foreign donor agencies, bilateral agencies, they stay back, they just come here 2 days to the election and they create a civil society situation room, which will have no effect. Until we are ready and willing to help ourselves by ensuring that the people who can actually do the job, they are the ones being funded. That is why I'm of the opinion that the international community, they are not of any help. They are actually killing our electoral processes. Watch. The good hotels all over Anambra booked by these same organizations. Where are they? The next time you see them is next 4 years. They are supposed to have been advocating for voter participation, voter education, because you can't act better than you know. That's the truth. The people have not come to realize that the only power to influence governance is by casting their ballot. When you do that, when a leader knows without your ballot, he or she cannot be returned to the office they sit on. That's why.
Now you've experienced the Monday sit at home.
Yes.
You've seen how effective. How will politicians and political parties be able to mobilize their supporters to come out in spite of this threat on Saturday?
I must confess to you that the sit-at-home threat is a big issue in the entire Southeast, not only in Anambra. I've been to Enugu, I've been to Abia, I've been to Imo, I've been to Ebonyi, and then Anambra here.
Because effective.
Very effective. Were you here yesterday?
Yes.
On the road, you won't see people. You won't see anyone. It has been very effective, and government has also not been telling the people the truth. That's the truth. They come out to say it's not a serious thing. I think one would have expected that the governors across the region come together, prevail on Mr. President to make a bold statement to these people, give them a promise of hope that whoever that they are fighting for is alive and that his own issue will be looked into. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You don't tell me there is light when there is no light. It's deception. There is self-delusion, self-deceit among the governors around this region. They have refused to embrace the truth. And they keep telling you, look, banks do not open.
No, they don't.
Banks do not open on Mondays. Beyond Monday, apart from Monday, the other day they took Nnamdi Kanu to court was, I think on Tuesday or Thursday. It was the same thing. These people have got real power. And that's why what we have been doing is CISCAs has been to relate
So
with.
you see that affecting the turnout on Saturday?
Largely. There is no saying the fact. It's not what you must undermine. It's a serious and critical problem.
What will INEC now do in this situation? That, you know, if there's a place in the constitution that says that, or the electoral act, that at least you must have 2/3 spread across the 21 local governments. What will now happen? Somebody told me yesterday that it is the number of people that come out that they will determine the 2/3 with, not the number of registered voters.
That's the truth, because you cannot force the people to come out. Now, few days ago, some military personnel were killed. Some DSS personnel were killed. Look, if you hear the spray, the shellings, it was like another civil war. In a democratic society like this, and somebody will come and tell you there is no cause for alarm, it's an error. The earlier we start embracing realities and fixing them the way they are, the better it will be for us. How did we get to this point? That things have gone so bad now. Levity. Trivializing issues that should have been taken seriously. Do you get? If, as at some months ago, INEC had engaged stakeholders from across the various community, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and then political leaders, and start addressing this issue, honestly, we wouldn't have gotten to this point that we are now. A professor from the University of Toronto, Professor Peter Rebelson, once told me that when things are going bad, people come together. When people come together, people think. When people think, people act. When people act, resolutions are made, solutions are created. You get what I'm saying?
What's the way forward now, ahead of Saturday's election?
The only way is to ensure what we'll be doing all that we can. Is just that one single tree cannot make a forest. That's why I told you. The international organizations have not been helping us. The organizations they formed, I mentioned some Yaga, Black, where are they? Where are they?
They are on ground.
They are on ground, but what they ought to have been doing months back is to come to the communities and educate the people. That's what election is all about. It's not just to come and create a situation room. Look, without people going out to vote, who feeds you? With the report you want from the polling units and the feeds. We must call a spade and not a spoon. Now, the only way out is to advise the security agencies to boost the people's confidence. Let them know that the militarization of the process is to protect them and not to intimidate them. You know what it is now. This is Nigeria. You see soldiers with gun, police with gun, SSS with gun. What do you think first?
Okay, let's look at INEC now, their level of preparation. Something that was deployed in Ondo State, that was deployed in your own election in Edo State. And you saw the way the electronic transfer of results from the polling units, and you saw the way it went. INEC might be deploying this right now. And how do you see it complementing the process?
Well, it is going to help. But I can tell you that not too many people have confidence in INEC.
Why?
The reason is because they believe federal might take force. That's the truth. Federal might. That is the thinking of
that era in Nigeria.
That is the thinking of the people here. They have the suspicion
it might be a thinking, but is that the reality? Election was held in Edo State.
Yes.
And the wish and aspiration of the people
yes.
was fulfilled.
We cannot compel a door with these people. We knew what we wanted. We stood for
it. And INEC, yes.
You understand me now? The people in the door, what we did was that we took the ownership of the process. That was what we did. We were head bent on going for what we wanted. That's the truth. Now, you can't compare the level of political literacy of the Edos with that of the Anambrans. That's the truth. The difference is quite clear. I am telling you that over the past 12 months I have been here, what INEC also needs to do, if I were to advise the chairman, make a press release. Tell the people you are here to act as an unbiased or impartial umpire. That you are here to ensure that the will of the people will not be submerged. The people who must build confidence in the electorate, if at all they will come out en masse, INEC first. They are assuring them that the efforts, the risk they are taking to come out will not be a futile one, but allowing them to believe or think that you will be impartial. That will go a long way to helping the people make up their mind, number one. Number two, the security agencies. It's not all about the CP, the IG, the AIG, bringing a lot of people. Look, you know how we reason. When you see their presence here, let me give you an example. This is the only election I think that is about to be conducted in Anambra while the school people, the students are still in section. As at 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, their parents have been calling them to come home. These were people, they are people who have PVCs and they ought to have voted. If your parent calls you out to leave Oka and come home, this is what will happen when you get home. They ask you to sit down and not come out. I am telling you that we've been here for more than one.
Let's talk about the political parties now.
Yes.
From your assessment, what has been the content of their messages to the electorates? Has it been issue-based or it has just been about grandstanding and personality?
A lot of them have not been doing issue-based campaigns. A lot of them have not been doing. Few of them have been doing, but I don't want to mention some names. And Anambrarians, if they watch well, and Nigerians, if they watch well, they know who are the ones that have been running their campaigns based on the issues confronting us. I think part of what has escalated the situation into the generation of the present state of things is that a lot of these political gladiators are not standing for peace. We've had some press briefing that I have met with practically all the big ones. You get what I'm trying to say? The truth of the matter is that a lot of people see them demonstrating arrogance, right? A lot of them believe they are better than, look, in a context like this, there should be a level playing ground for everybody. Even if you know you are better off, there is a way you present it. Then they knock the heads of their supporters against each other. And that's why we must, as a matter of fact, guide against post-election violence, because the risk of having that is very high. That is why we have created a situation. We'll be speaking or talking with people.
I want to thank you, Comrade Kennedy. Thank you for your analysis. I'm sure after the election, we'll be here together to do like a kind of post-mortem and assessment of the whole situation here in Anambra State.
Thank you so much.
So I take you over to Lagos. That's been Oka Studio are often here, but every hour, every day, we are going to be giving you low-down, bit-by-bit accounts of what is happening here in Oka, Anambra State, and across the 21 local governments. We are going to have reporters all over, and they're going to be giving us live feeds and reports ahead of that election.
All right, thank you, Aya, for bringing us up to speed with that interview.